heavy macro by both these players. Usually by this point we start seeing some heavy dropship play, and we saw Leta prepare for that. We saw a lot of turrets going up at both the 3 o'clock and the 12 o'clock position. And we got a little bit of an offensive going down here at the 9 o'clock position as Leta continues to try and just pound this door down, this ramp down, and make sure that Light cannot expand there, cannot do too much there at all, and just tries to put a lot of pressure in that area. And I think once Light gets that top left base, yeah, I think at 5 gas, I think you've got enough gas as a Terran player to do pretty much anything you want other than mass battlecruisers. We've got 5 dropships in the air for Light. He could do a pretty big drop right now. I think he's got 1 or 2 dropships up on Leta at the moment, and both these players just have so many bases that their macro is not going to be a problem. Filling those dropships right now is not going to be a problem in any way, shape, or form. So he needs to try and use those dropships, I think, very effectively, maybe break part of this contain. I don't know what's left at the bottom right, or if that's just all literally a swath of mines across that entire bridge. But if there's any units down there, he should maybe try and finish those out, and so that way he can also have access to his 5th base. Or you could also go for a drop possibly on some of the forces maybe in the middle of the map, or possibly at the inside 9. Wherever there aren't turrets, if you can drop some units on tanks, you can maybe gain some map advantage that way. But so far it looks like both players playing pretty tentatively, not a whole lot of aggression here. We've got Leta throwing up his 6th base, so he's going to have 2 full quadrants. He's going to have a full half of the map very shortly, and I think Light is taking the base at the bottom right natural, maybe. If he hasn't already, he's going to be doing that soon. So both players are just going to have so much money, so much gas, pretty much unlimited at this stage, and Command Center for Light floating up to the 9 o'clock position, not able to land yet because, well, he's got forces in the way. And Leta is pushing this base at the bottom right, going to try and stop these bases from coming up. But we've got a lot of dropships coming in reinforcements. That's going to be more than enough to stop this. I think 4 dropships for Leta coming in as well, but not nearly enough forces there. And we're seeing the upgrade advantage really coming into play here as Light's really doing a good job of taking down the tanks of Leta very quickly. And a nice little drop here going on here by Leta, but his tanks are very clumped up. They're going to take a lot of fire at once, and I think we're going to see this cleaned up. Yeah, this is going to get cleaned up by Light quite well. So he's going to have a chance here to get his 5th base up and running and maybe go for some counter drops of his own. And if he can do that, he can you know, maybe start doing some damage right back to Leta, as this is Leta's really first offensive, and it hasn't been all that successful.
It looks like the players are content to divide the map in half. I mean, as Leta just tried to throw a little bit of opposition to Light taking the bottom right, but he really only had 3 dropships and not that many forces to push. He didn't commit all of his forces because that would have left him way too open to a counterattack. But he was unable to deny that bottom right, so it looks like it's going to be, the map is just going to be divided into 2 halves, and that's just going to be so much money. This is a really big macro map. There's a lot of bases all around, and with like 6 bases each. And oh, it looks like Light's coming in, and Leta only had 4 tanks there. I think Light might he's sieging up all those tanks. I think he might, only 1 mine out of all of those. No mines hitting. By the looks of it, I think Light's going for that base again in the middle. He just sieged up with a massive number of units, and it looks like, wow, Leta's, I don't know where Leta got all those dropships, but it looks like 8 dropships just flew by, so he's going to be pretty good with respect to his mobility going into the longer game. He's got a lot of dropships. I think that's a separate force of them. I don't know where that SCV transfer is even going to, but we're deep enough into the game that the main and natural little enclave is probably going to be mined out right about now. It looks like we're getting Leta's first-person view. You can just see his macro in action, and he's just about max. He's at 196 out of 200. So we're about 22 minutes into the game. Both players, I'd expect, are max, and he's scouting it. We're seeing it first from Leta's first-hand view. Oh crap! Light's taking the middle, and it doesn't seem like Leta's going to, at least right now, be able to do anything about it when I do believe he's down in upgrades, and it's going to be hard for him with all those tanks that Light has. The tanks aren't really positioned optimally. They're kind of clumped and are very susceptible to being splashed and, of course, being dropped on because there's not really any Goliaths or support units. Just about 2 turrets there is all that's going to defend a drop on top of there. So it looks like that's what Leta... Oh, Leta's just going to siege it. He's bringing tanks around and is just going to siege one of those gases, and he's probably going to do the same on the other side. Light is pushing up into the 9 o'clock. He's got the 9 o'clock base, but I think he's going to try to take out the top left. I don't really know. Man, I wish purple and brown looked even more different than they do on the minimap. It looks like Leta coming in with a colossal drop. There's only two turrets. Leta's much better prepared on the turrets, by the way. He's got like 6 turrets at each base, but only 2 there. And it looks like Light's dropships are way too far out of position. He's just walking his units back to try to defend this base. But from the look on Light's face, he's going to lose this base at the bottom right. And so Leta, well, he took out the bottom right base, even though he's unable to take out the center base. So it's at least going to restore the balance at least just for now. And oh dear God. Oh dear God, Leta has like 10 starports. Leta has 10 starports, no control towers on any of them, and from the looks of the spacing, they're probably not gonna all have control towers. Some of them can. Maybe he's gonna go like, you know, 9 starports producing raids and 3 producing battle cruisers. I don't know, but oh my God, there's so many starports, Deja Vu.
Oh hot damn, this is my jam. We're gonna see a whole lot of raids in the air. This is gonna be awesome. And I don't know if Light scouted out yet. All he needs is one scan up there, and he'll know this is here. He can either go for a massive drop to possibly counter it, or he can go counter it with raids and battle cruisers of his own. Could see some, you know, if there's that many raids in the air, we could actually see Valkyries be useful. If there's that many raids, usually when there's only like a couple of them, it's not worthwhile, just because the Valkyries are going to die so quickly. But if there's 15, 20 raids in the air, you know, one volley from a Valkyrie all of a sudden becomes very, 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 very nice and useful. So I hope he scouts that out soon and responds, because I would hate to see him lose just because he didn't see the 40 raids being produced and they just like raffle stomp all over his tanks in the middle of the map and he can't do anything. We got one of the gases in the central expansion mining, so right now Light is up 1 gas expansion. Doesn't really matter. I'm pretty sure both these players have so much money, it doesn't matter, which is why we saw this. I think there's more than 10 starports there. There's just an incredibly obscene number of starports producing an equally obscene number of rates. And he'll be able to continuously reproduce those rates at just an incredible rate. So that's going to be the ploy by Leta. That is going to be the Leta ploy. And we do know that Leta's Wraith Micro is extremely, extremely good. He's known for, in TVZ, he's known for his Wraith Micro, his 2-port Wraith build versus Zerg. So, and if you've ever watched some of his 2-port games against Zerg, you've seen some excellent Wraith Micro. So assuming, of course, that he can do the same type of micro in TVT, that could be very, very effective for him. And Light just doesn't seem like he's responding at all, or at least they haven't gone back to the base. He's probably responding in some form right now, and they just haven't gone back to the base yet. We got a ton of dropships in the air for Leta right now, by the way. I don't think he can fill those dropships with anything, though, because he's just producing massive numbers of raids. Actually, never mind, those starports aren't producing. Maybe he's maxed out again, and he's just going to wait until stuff dies before building again. But this is kind of this is very, very exciting, definitely, and I'm just really massively curious as to how Light is going to deal with this.
Light is, we just saw him throwing up some turrets, but it dawned on me, that's why Leta was behind in upgrades, despite the fact that he had the early armor. He was planning this for a while. He's already got +1 weapons for his air units, and he's probably got +2 on its way, already close to completion. That's why. Alright, here comes the first little fleet of raids, and oh, that was really lucky timing. Flew over 2 turrets that were almost done, and is going to in an instant take out like 3 or 4 dropships before a scan goes off and the Goliaths repel them, but only 1 or 2 wraiths died in that at the cost of killing the dropships and perhaps what was inside the dropships. I'm not sure, and of course Leta can't be sure whether or not there was anything inside of that, but both players are definitely